video, we will be discussing the different states of matter such as a solid, liquid, and gas. We will also be looking at how the different states of matter change between one form and another. Afterwards, I will explain the differences between a physical and chemical change. Let's begin with a solid. A solid is an object that has tightly packed particles and has a fixed position. A solid is rigid and cannot be compressed. A solid also has a fixed shape and volume and cannot flow. A liquid is a flowing object that has tightly packed particles but not as tightly packed as a solid. A liquid is not rigid and cannot be compressed. A liquid has a definite volume but does not have a definite shape. Notice how the liquid takes the shape of a different container but still has the same volume. A gas has particles that are far apart. A gas can be compressed but does not have a fixed shape or volume and is not rigid. There are two different types of changes matter can go through: a physical change and a chemical change. A physical change is when the substance changes form but keeps its same chemical composition. A chemical change or chemical reaction is when a new substance is formed. The starting material changes into an entirely different substance or substances. The substance has a different chemical composition than the starting material. Here's a demonstration of a physical change. Here we have an ice cube that is a solid. The reason being the particles that make up the ice, also known as water molecules, are close together and have little movement is because in many solids, the particles are pulled into a rigid, organized structure of repeating patterns called a crystal lattice. The particles that are contained in the crystal lattice are still moving, but barely. It's more of a slight vibration. To change the ice into liquid water, we will have to add energy. The energy we will be using will be the heat of the stove. Watch as the solid becomes a liquid. As energy and heat is added, the water molecules start expanding further apart and move faster, turning into a gas called steam. This process is called evaporation. Now I'm going to be demonstrating a chemical reaction. Here we have a mixture of potassium iodine, liquid soap, and water. In the container we have 36% hydrogen peroxide. Now let's see what happens when we mix it. The potassium iodine catalyzes or speeds up the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide into water and oxygen with the release of heat. This is a result of a chemical reaction. When the atoms in the reaction get rearranged, it produces a new material. Now let's see what happens in a really smaller container. This chemical reaction also produces a fair amount of heat. This is called an exothermic reaction. The exothermic reaction causes the water to quickly heat up and turn into steam, which is also a physical change.